stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches.
Alright, enough of that. Running late. What's good in the hood, everybody? Happy fucking Friday, I hope, for most of you. Hopefully this doesn't give you a seizure today. Sorry, it took a little bit to get the artwork done. What do you guys think? You guys like that cover? It's pretty cool. See my holy grail? Shout out to Lucky Beach for sending me this for my B-Day. Appreciate you. Some drink glasses. But yeah. And we've done a lot of concept calls, and we've been talking about adding some things onto price action now, learning more about volume profiles and stuff. And so I kind of wanted to touch on the fact that a lot of people will get tunnel visioned away from price, looking at new indicators, and not treat it as a supplement to price. They'll look for like a single answer to price and an indicator. That's something that I want to make sure I steer people clear of right in the very beginning of this, because as much stuff as I teach you guys in concept calls across all the weeks, if you realize like how much of the information leaves you over time without repetition, you can get really tunnel vision on like something that looks really concise, and a lot of stuff I show you is going to look really precise, but you never want to overlook like price action. Price action is where all of your indicators derive their values from. So everything that you think you see in some indicators is always in the price, whether you see it as clearly in the price or not. You never want to like latch onto an indicator and say this is what I need to use to make sure I know what I'm doing. The price action, you always want to learn to read where in the price action this indicator gets that detail from. There is no holy grail. All right, you can get as close to reading human behavior as as I do, and there's still going to be things that'll catch you by surprise. The only thing that really protects you is risk management. So, before we get further along the path and acolytes, I know that VPVR makes people fucking triggered. So, like before you fucking go fucking psychotic on that stuff, make sure you never forget the basics of wave logic. Everything is contained within the price itself. All volume, all behaviors, all indicators you could use, RSIs, everything is going to derive its data from, a price action. So, price is always first. Now you know what I know. Very likely the most honest person Well, I'm a straight shooter. I don't really have time for bullshit. The way I figure it is if you had to remember every lie you told every person, you wouldn't have any space in your head for anything real, So if you're straight up with people, you don't have to remember a bunch of bullshit. Makes life easier. All right. So, opening memo. I know I've started late. What's the starting count here? 83. Wow. You guys are killing me, huh? I got 180 acolytes, and somehow only 80 of you make it up on time for this show. Pretty nuts. And I'm late, so I don't even understand that one. You guys just like the concept calls, huh? Don't need the show if you know what Kaz knows. You might think so. All right, so got everything looked at here. Pretty crazy fucking down day yesterday. Or actually the day before. And shout out to everybody that was able to play that and into yesterday. Some really good actions coming out of Discord. Definitely like seeing that. What do you guys think of the color scheme? Pretty dope, right? Or something a little different. Yeah, I touched on the orange again. I go for it when it looks like fire. As far as nature goes, orange in nature is fire. I'm cool with that. Orange and anything else is fucking horrendous. But thought I'd go for some color schemes I don't normally use. So, it looked pretty cool. My holy grail ended up looking like a fucking urine sample, but it's all good. Only so much time I had to fucking get this bitch done. Did like fucking, you can believe how many shots I took of this to get that fucking thing right. But anyways, keeping the creativity running, right? 520 plus shows. I think we're at 530 shows. So it's a hell of a lot of stuff we've put out there over the years. Yeah, I like the effects on the mask. It gives that crazy, Marvel visor type effect. If I could shoot fucking lasers out of it, it'd be fucking where I want to be. Orange is debatable, Chester. Love purple. Shout out to Estinado, member for 4 months. Yeah, orange is nice in nature. It's just not nice in fucking anything else. It's orange fruit's great, sunset's great, fucking orange clothing, not so great. Yeah, I thought the glare. This is what I was looking for yesterday. I thought I had to go Lime Gang on you guys. I couldn't fucking find it, but I'm glad I got to save it for this show because it's pretty dope. They want to burn a set for nothing, This is pretty colorful. This is like my element. All right, so let's see what we can dig up here. So I have a short schedule, 8:52. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time. Let's see if you guys left me any war stories. Been pretty thin on getting those for all you guys winning inside the Discord. You got to leave me some stories up here for the rest of the community to read and stuff. Nope, no new war stories. You guys just put them all in Discord, huh? Slackers. So, good to see you guys still fucking hitting some currencies overnight and stuff like that. It's a general chat right now. I think we got people playing it all over the place in there. But yeah, you can, drop some scorecards. I know it gets real easy to start plopping wins out in here once you guys know what you're doing. But don't forget to keep those war stories packed because that's what a lot of you guys use to do your research to kind of recalibrate yourself. So Remember, it helps everybody in the community when you share what you're doing. Not everything you're doing, just most of what you're doing, you know? Good stuff yesterday. Again, you know, good prep in the morning. Check that out. And that's it. Done for the day in the first 3 minutes. Can you imagine? Do you even realize what your time is worth? To be able to get your whole day open for you in the first 3 minutes and make what you need to make for your target, right? ROI on the savings of time is amazing. So, you know, for all you guys that are wondering what's an acolyte, it's this. Training our audience to use mechanics that should be what professional traders use and retail alike, but retail has no idea. You know, if you guys saw what I showed you in the last show, what did you guys think about, you know, do you really think about that article I showed you? Four banks making perfect quarters simultaneously. You know, that article really somehow it should never have left like the public view when you realize who the only people left in the planet are that could possibly get them all to win, since clearly they didn't win off each other, right? And it's an amazing thing when you look at Robinhood colluding to like figure out how to get GME, and they call Janet Yellen to shut them down. And you look at pattern day trader laws, and you look at this nonsense Goldman Sachs has cooked up to like seek out people's like orders inside of dark pools, and you really have to ask yourself like who's the market designed for, you know? Exactly, J Mills. Trade to live, not live to trade. People don't really value like how different like the playing field is for us versus them, you know? Everything they have like basically nuclear weapons aimed at children in the stock market. You got guys that are talking about HODL, have no idea about fucking like looking at other asset classes, don't know how to use stops, no risk management whatsoever, complete zealots. And then you have fucking Goldman Sachs sitting across from you with like a fucking Trident missile aimed at your mother. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's not even remotely a level playing field, you know? But the fact is that nobody in retail knows that you weren't supposed to ever have a chance coming in here. You were supposed to be getting fed to the wolves and having every dime extracted out of you and be able to blame it on random chance, chaos, fucking Fed. I have no idea. Nobody can predict the market, so I guess I just fucked up. You'd never get, what the fuck's going on. But the fact is, every single person you talk to in markets can tell you about an incident where they've been stopped out on the low to the penny. Do you know how fucking crazy it is that all of you would have a story of being exactly wrong to the very penny, unless something fucking insane is going on in the market to make you all have the anomalous story together? That's food for thought. But yeah, trust me, this is if the public actually understood what was going on in the inner mechanics of the stock market, they'd be fucking a riot on Wall Street this morning. Not tomorrow, fucking this morning. Enoch says, had a guy talk to me about GME this week, still has it. Unfucking believable. He doesn't know that party's over. Well, good luck to him. Retail got rocks and sticks. Meanwhile, JP got nukes. It's not even a joke. Like, if you understood like what these funds are doing, I understand the math of what these hedge funds do, HFT funds and mean reverting strategies they use against retail, and cross asset baskets. If I explained it on fucking the show, I'd probably be shot dead by the night. But when I'm telling you that they have ability to fucking make sure they're right at like a 99% confidence level, I'm not kidding. Like, that article I showed you was 12 years old. They could do that 12 years ago. Do you know how much shit changes in computing power in 12 years? Just look at fucking gaming machines and try to imagine what's on their side of the equation. It's so mind-blowing. I didn't find that other article, but if you look it up, there is an article that literally says JP Morgan. I want to find JP Morgan. Let's see if I get lucky and find that. It's a very hard article to look up, and it's for good reason, because it'll blow your mind. But JP Morgan has probably the longest stretch of any of them at 4 years with 2 down days in 4 years. And they can't recommend you a winning stock. Jamie Dimon can't figure out where Bitcoin is going. Like, literally nobody that's public in the bank can tell you fucking fuck all anything at the same time as they can post results like that. And no one's even smart enough to ask questions. How in the fuck is that coming out of the same place? It's mind-blowing, But if anybody has a fucking holy grail in the fucking market, it's fucking JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs. It's not fucking your your Ichimoku cloud. It's not your fucking MACD. It's not your RSI. None of that crap is being used in any fucking Wall Street fund out there. So you guys don't see any shit like that on the show. Like Goldman Sachs is not using an RSI. It's insane the stuff that you see people using out there. And like, you know, if you had any idea what you're up against, you would just turn all that shit off. Your friends at Joe Miller said, my friends at work think big penis is a genius. I mean, just read that sentence out loud to yourself, and there's not much else you can do with that. A lack of respect of a stop loss makes traders into investors. That's a fucking quotable line, right? If you start to use the term investor, we know you're a moron, and you have no idea where the fucking bottom is, and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. But that's a really good line, actually. I really like that. All right, so time is a factor. It is 8:59. You guys gave me no war stories, so I guess that makes life easy in one dimension. Let me reload this one time. Let's see. So it's Friday. Need to get us a good wrap. Get some of your stocks on here this time before I run out of time. I will do that. All right, let's see. All right. Start with some macro things because it is 9 o'clock. Let's see if we can get us out of here before fucking 9:30 today. So the bear flag I told you guys we did pay attention to on these dudes. We're still paying attention to, right? So this is the Dow, who had been the healthiest guy, you know, in the rally and stronger in the industrials since weakened out while we kind of corrected. The SPY's version of the bear flag, right? We drew him and said, you know, we wanted to watch in case he recoiled all the way up to, you know, well, I just drew this shape, not specifically to any level, just to show you how it would look. You know, this is the flag shape, but just to show you that you're still in the bear flag. And so we see him rotate across the grain right now. So we want to keep eyes on this because this is the big danger. We have energy. He has a level up here, death to a country. And it tagged energy's fucking emotion level to the penny. So that's always worth noting when you mark these emotion levels in the price. So bear flag here where that went through and another contact here. We want to see this guy doesn't fucking like totally rotate down through this, or, you know, we're heading for another leg. So that's why we're mapping this little low resolution uptrend that began over here around Christmas. And, you know, in the beginning of the year, we got a little bit of a rally. But when you look at it and keep it in context, it's a blip on the fucking radar, right? Q's, which is the weakest guy, but was the strongest in the pump. He's kind of like the big danger, right? And when you're like, this is one of the things that throws people off a lot. So like, you know, when you see something that's like coin had this like insane pump, right? Let's see, percentage wise. See stuff like it's an 80% pump off the lows. And you see stuff like this, you're like, okay, that, you know, that's got to be a rally. But if you ever notice when the market's really, really fucking wrecked, you'll see a pile of shit like coin, like, you know, take off and be stronger than anything else. Tesla's been getting wrecked stronger than anything else. And what most people don't realize is like, you know, is that these assets are recoiling in strength from short squeeze, you know, from a short cover. They're not really strong, you know, on a broader basis. They're strong because with buying and short covering, the guy who was most short is being bought the hardest. So you see like dog shit assets rally really hard in short squeezes in the marketplace, and it fools a lot of people that the bad assets are making a comeback. When reality is, you know, over time, things like coin are actually just having counterwaves in larger structures like this, right? So when you look at Oxy coin, this is basically like, you know, Kathy versus Buffett. This move that you see here will fool people that, you know, just like this one did. This move here would have made people believe that, you know, coin is going for the moon again. Oh, you can't even see that. Let me put it this way. No. Where did I put it? Pinto, you guys go. Right, this rally here would have fooled people. This July summer rally, same thing, right? When it's really just a counter structure in coin as a weaker asset versus superior asset, this is the same thing, right? So this is a big danger because the marketplace isn't right for like you know, technology assets and stuff. When you have rising rates, it really puts a headwind to those guys because they need like cheap cost of funds to experiment on the kind of high growth potential, you know, technologies they work on. So when you have a rising rate environment, it's just not an overall good marketplace for risk assets, semiconductors, things like that. They tend to be shitty, against things like, well, he's kind of coming down. He's not the best one. Defense guys though, like Caterpillar. Let's put Caterpillar. Who did I just put? Nvidia. Right. So you look at something like this, and this is pumping since basically when the Fed changed policy. Nvidia, who most people are going to look at as a high-flying tech stock, is getting smoked by Caterpillar, who nobody thinks about twice. But that's just the environment you're in. So in this big correction we have with Caterpillar versus Nvidia, or Oxy versus Coin, we have to be aware that this isn't just a low resolution, correction and short squeeze on tech assets that will suck people into another trap yet again. So that's the thing we keep eyes on right now while we watch the situation, and we kind of watch to see if this guy can rotate back down through here. Ultimately, this is going to be the level we give a shit about. If the NASDAQ gets through this, it's kind of the same level that Tesla is bouncing on. See this? Exactly structurally the same exact area. So that's kind of like a line in the sand. Tesla bounced this. He's potentially got the same bear flag we see in the market right now. Right, so this is your line in the sand for a lot of guys who are going to look like that. NAS goes through that, Tesla goes through that, nothing good's going to happen there. So that's where we keep eyes on. Right now we look at Apple. He's deeper, he's higher up off the same floor. That is the same floor. You want to see how many guys that correlate with that, because you can kind of probably watch the space and see anybody who's going to rotate down through that level. Nvidia's not near it. So there's other guys in tech that will show you who's where. Google, let's see him. Google's a guy that you probably want to keep track of just because he's under threat from AI right now, and I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out with him. This is pretty much the thing that Google is the most fearful of, is that his search will die if ChatGPT becomes more mainstream than it is. So kind of interesting to kind of see this guy. All right, so go back to VIX things. We've been keeping track of this. I jinxed it on the last show, and I mentioned it was under 21, and he came back like a motherfucker. And he is now bouncing around 21 and this box range low, which is actually over here. I just extended this range that I told you to keep track of last time. He comes back through it. So now he's got a 2B on it, and he's boxing between the low here in August and 21. We rotate this angle. That's not a good thing. Get back above 21 right now with those bear flags we see. We definitely want to have all hands on deck. That would probably lead to another de-risk again. DXY things, we're watching him. He broke down a little bit, but didn't really get too far. Generally, you look to see, if you're in de-risking, that the dollar would also be strong at the same time. The market's been coming down, the dollar's been weak at the same time, which is, is kind of odd. It's not something that I think should sustain. But for right now, the play has been Europe, and nobody's been paying attention to Europe at all, right? Europe has been the strength, and pretty much nobody wants to touch Europe. Nobody wants to touch the euro either, because they look like they have outsized risk with the Putin situation. So they've been the strength while nobody wants them. For right now, though, we're going to watch and see if the VIX gives us some, more de-risking potential, because it will hit Europe just the same if it does happen. All right, so that's VIX, DXY, indexes. Crypto things. Crypto has been the strength, and it's still being the strength right now, holding up pretty good while equities get smoked. We're looking at this structure. We talked about him not in BTC but in ETH. ETH kind of has a setup that was what we played in the summer. And if you remember, oops, don't do that. So if you remember the summer deal, let's just take it back to where you can see this setup. All right, you had your climax low. And then you had like your bear flag, what is going to be, your bull flag, which is going to be a bear trap to anybody who's still looking to short it. And then we rotated with like TrollX or CloneX's fucking troll energy they did, harassing everybody. And fucking that emotion point in the market was a rally point for the summer rally. We came back now, and this entire rally really has turned into basically a fractal of this low rallying to this point. And so the entire situation here is the same thing. This is that same rally, and this is that same bull flag. So we are now rotating up from here off of the very emotion point that actually generated the summer rally. In the larger fractal version of it, a bull flag is formed, or a bear trap, and landed in that same spot that the rally started from. So this would be pretty crazy if you actually get it in two different resolutions from the same emotion point. but that's what we have right now. So right now above 1423, that's our key trigger that we like to see ETH stay above. It was the trigger for us in the summer that gave us a monster rally to 2000. If crypto stays strong, we want to pay attention to this guy staying north of 1423 to see if he can stay above this like congestion he's got down here and shoot up to the other emotion point we have, which is the other fucking CloneX attack in fucking August, harassing everybody and attacking us, that we marked here for fucking idiots in the marketplace to watch out for. So idiot 1 to idiot 2 is what we're fucking tracking right now, right? So for anybody that came to watch the show, yes, CloneX is that toxic. We could actually fucking use their energy to fucking call the entire fucking planet because they're that level of fucking assholes inside that ecosystem. Yeah, it is that bad. Hopefully this year they make some changes and somebody fucking get control of that place. But yeah, what a way to wreck a blue chip fucking NFT with just shit energy. And there's something to be said for that too, because I was around from the early days of Doge, and people really don't value how much positivity can really change things. Doge did not fucking survive on fucking technology. Doge survived on fucking just pure zeal. The community was just the most positive community and stayed that way for such a long fucking time. And you really got to see this manifest. I put this point out in the summer. I want to show you guys this. How crazy is it, right? When you look at this guy noted it here yesterday. This guy said it 146 days ago, back in the summer. One Azuki equaled a clone. That shitty attack, so they're attacking everybody, Goblin Town, shitting on us. They didn't even know who the fuck we are, right? There were about 3 teams as big as us that were buying as many clones as us since January. And they fucking attacked us. This whole station stopped promoting them. Another guy who held 40 clones with another crew of dudes bailed out and dumped all his shit. This stupid attack these shitheads did was literally the death of CloneX itself. Just attacking everybody around the NFT space, attacking people within the community. That's why we warned them. We've been around for fucking, literally, since 2013 in crypto. We've been around a decade. We know damn well what it is once you start doing that. It's never a good ththing. Only bad things come to your community next when you do this. Because when you do this on the internet where the whole planet can fucking see you, nobody's going to want to be part of this shit. That's your demand base for your fucking, your 20,000 clones. When people are like, oh, there's so many more clone holders coming into the marketplace now. That's not a good thing, motherfucker. That means your fucking core holders are selling, right? We talk about monopolies of perception. More people holding the same thing isn't a monopoly of perception. It's a dilution. And the fact is, it's a dilution because the people who are core holders don't want to hold fucking assloads of this shit anymore after watching the shit show from the founders down. This was a fucking nuts fucking situation when you looked at it. These guys are running around attacking fucking every fucking other project out there and just shitting on people, hoping people lose. This is always, when you see anybody in any community write this, it equals fuckface and it equals your whole community's in danger. The minute you wish somebody else has fucking shit fall on their house, it's gonna fall on your fucking house. It's a fucking guarantee. I've seen it my whole fucking life. That's why we point this out. We don't give a fuck about this piece of shit or any small dick little pussies online. Remember, if you guys want to check my online personality, you fucking bitches, come to Queens. I'll fucking let you see it firsthand. But at any rate, right, these people went after us. This was friends with the other fuckface that we called out. She tried to get us kicked out of the community. Smooth move, you stupid bitch. You kicked out the fucking one of the 3 core fucking market makers who support your fucking project without knowing it. Dumb money doesn't know it's dumb, guys. And, it does. There is a thing about fucking waking up with a positive attitude. It does have fucking intangible benefits that you may not fully realize, but it's a choice to be a piece of shit. And these people made a choice to be just fucking horrible people. And it came back to fucking haunt them. So 3x Suzuki on fucking clones simply because they trashed their own community, and then the founders robbed everybody and fucking blew up the fucking monolith. What a way to mismanage a fucking project. I cannot say enough. And for any of the clones who don't like people voicing opinions about fucking clones, fuck you. Nobody cares. So anyways, somebody clip that and send it to those cocksuckers. Learn how to run your fucking community. And stop talking shit on like a bunch of pussies. Or I'll meet your ass at the Gagosian next time. You can take more pictures with me. That was a funny thing that happened. This guy talked so much shit online. We went and met him in person, and all they want to do is take pictures with me. I was like, I thought you guys already talked some beef. This is so cute. Anyways, yeah. So hopefully CloneX turns it around in this year. I don't know. It's kind of fucking amazing to watch them destroy such a fucking, amazing product and technology with just absolutely dog shit human behavior. Community is everything, right? Somebody put a good point on Twitter yesterday. when the community is your fucking main utility, fucking manage that. And that's what they fail to realize. You don't have any fucking brand if you don't fucking everybody wants to be part of it. And you make everybody fucking watch this shit show public and line and don't manage it, nobody's gonna touch it with a 10-foot fucking pole. And that's what fucking happened to them across the last 150 days. Anyhow, got some symbols, got some memos on fucking some NFT things. Let's see, let's get you guys another chart. Nope, not that one. All right. Let's see. All right. FCX. Ooh, okay. Don't want that. So I think we went over this guy. Okay, he's on this chart. Went over this guy recently with you guys a couple times. So if you guys remember this, Nomics and baby, right? Higher floor, punched out. We had a bull flag here. We projected last time we ever did this, a lead from the bull flag to this location. So that location is the last high to put in the low of the year. And so there's always a good inflection point to watch what happens there. Just like at the all-time highs, it's the same thing, right? You go through any high, it's just relative. We look at how it's going to do this. You can count out of here a lot bigger. It's a pretty big pump. Basic materials have had a pretty big run. If the market continues to de-risk pretty crazily, you can see him pull back a little bit more from here. So we want to see really what the market does, because this run's been pretty long and he was a pretty outsized performer even in the de-riskings that happened along the way. He kept on pushing. So right now you're at a pretty good place for to sit back and kind of gauge this thing. I would extend this level over here, another major high, and watch how he interacts with that right now. So he's got a range really between this level here and he wicked up to the previous high here. I think this is the range you watch for him to leave. And then the same thing here, these triggers, this is still the same trigger up above this. I think once he sustains on top of this, he'll look healthier to push out and blow this out. I don't think this is a big obstacle. I think getting above this is. CHTR. Charter Communications. XLC and everything communications looks like dog shit. These guys are going to correlate a lot with tech and big tech. They're actually looking a lot worse than some stuff in big tech. You look at XLK, it doesn't even look as bad as communications. Stuff in there looks just fucking dreadful. This is Dish. These are some of the guys that are in there. Wow. Yeah, that's Dish. That's communications. So, at this time, definitely not best of breed. Could there be massive bull flags at this resolution? Yeah, it's possible. So you're looking at this, right? This is a humongous range on him. And if there's a place that he could hold, it would be down here, right? This is the low. This is a stop run of the low. This is a stop run of the high. You kind of look at this. We've seen this before in many things, right? This is an expanding formation on both sides of the flag right here. And it may be in a much larger scale of time, I think. You'd look at this guy like this. Stop it. Ah, damn it. And he could get, outside this entire range. And it would be something, probably on a multi-year type thing. Not this many years, Jesus Christ. But in time, this guy's is probably a super high res chart you'd have to pay attention to. Can he oscillate across this range? Totally. If we get to I think 2024, when the Fed would maybe a little bit more accommodative towards tech and probably, reverse their rate cycle, or is most likely to, then this is probably the timing of the maturity of some of the guys in tech to kind of pay attention to. APD. Guys, air products and chemicals. So there's a lot of stuff in basic materials that look good. Chemicals is one of them. He's not as good. Let's see. I think Sherwin-Williams is pretty good in there. There's some bull flags in some of these guys that are worth paying attention to in chemicals. A lot of people pay attention to fucking Bill Gates, and he's in ECL. That's probably the worst one inside of all of them, to be honest with you. But the APD is a pretty strong guy. So watching him right now in this setup like this, I would always watch the all-time high. I'd watch this high. This is a stop run that just fucked people, gapped up and fucking killed somebody and came back through. And he did the same thing over here. So this is the key level you want to pay attention to. It's wick that, wick that, wick that. So with that, pretty easy. Just put a box range in here, and then he's going to make a structure in that. And then with what he's got here, This could be the structure you're looking for what I've put here. If he rotates out of that, you know, worth paying attention to. But I wouldn't fuck with him until he gets outside of this shit, having done it twice. 918. All right, I'm moving. MNST. Monster Beverage. I don't know if this is still true, but did you guys know that for a good period of time, I think at least up until like 2019, Monster Energy was the #1 performing stock in the entire S&P 500. How crazy is that? Somebody can look that up and verify it's still true. I don't know if it's still true anymore, but I know up until about 2019 it was true. Let's see here. And that's going all the way back here to like the fucking 80s. Let's see. So this guy right now, motherfuckers love their fucking caffeine, right? So we look at this. I would kind of say let's kill a bunch of stuff on this. Let's restart this chart. So you look at this guy and you see the kind of congestions he's done. You look at this kind of stuff. Big swing right here. His core volume is like right there, you know, the core accumulation that he marked up from. And you kind of want to like pay attention to that, right? You come up here and the market sets ranges and then they basically just fucking shake it around and build huge positions, moved up, sat on top of it, build another huge position, mark this up to another system. And where is the core of this whole thing, you know, to pay attention to? It's probably about there. And so as long as he can stay outside of this, he has a chance to do something like, you know, like set something up that you can pay attention to leave the system right now. We want to see if he does something like that up here or not. But we want him to stay outside of this thing to rotate, you know, off of this out. NST on ASNST on this guy. What is this? This is gold miner. Not precious metals. So right, you guys know that GC1 or GLD. So you pay attention to gold. We talked about this over here. All right, gold rotated. We had just shown you guys this on the show from down here to watch this range. It was a 2B under the low, rotated right through it, and came back up. And so your trigger range out here is worth paying attention to. I think right now GC1 is closing in on, you know, the old 2011 high. So we got a heads up on that. Somebody told me that this morning. If you pay attention to it right now, that is definitely a trigger over your old system high. And this is definitely your box range. On that system high, you pay attention to see what happens when you reach, you know, former highs. So we want to watch this. He gets outside of this high, you know, all hands on deck for gold and other precious metals. Silver stuff also, right? GDX, we see GDX and these stocks like that. Newmont, we talked about him on the show. To watch this is a gold stock. Again, you know, gold tends to be a risk-off asset, so you put them against assets that are de-risking, and it's usually the better place since the dollar market's getting fucking smashed when you do have a big de-risk. So right now it's really, you know, likely this the Dow Jones versus, this is what you're watching here. Oh wait, yeah, it's Dow. Well, that's Dow over gold, so Dow's getting wrecked by gold. So risk assets are selling on gold right now. And so some of you are watching for this level. We talked about, oh, cool. I didn't know I had this chart on here. Fucking sweet. Oh yeah, we got the presidential cycles on it too. All right, well, there you go. How good is that? So Biden situation right now, we're watching for this high, the last high to put in the low to get taken out. And we're watching this flag still, which has a 2B and failed. And so we're still watching that. As long as this is happening right now, risk assets are a dangerous place to be, right? Anytime you see this kind of sell-off, see this is COVID. And that's when gold makes sense. When gold is a hedge on risk assets, not really an outright bet against the dollar. It's a hedge on things that, you know, you seek a utility from. So in a situation where you have like COVID, right? The Dow getting wrecked really just, you know, outpaced gold downwards. Almost everything on the planet got hit downwards. It's just that gold wouldn't fall as fast in a de-risking event. So that's where gold actually makes sense. Not as like, you know, a lot of people like buy gold and, you know, fuck fiat. Gold is a risk-off asset. It really benefits you in a de-risking tide as a hedge on risk assets, not an outright bet against the dollar. So keeping track of this is worth noting. If this, like, you know, when this chills out, this is when the market can actually resume upward motion, you know, unimpeded. So we do want to keep track of this right now and see how far this fails out. He keeps failing, this is going to keep rotating and everything's going to get hit. 9:23. All right, I'm over time a little bit, but I'm gonna get this done. USD MXN, USD MXN. Get off my chart, sir. USD MXN. Looking at him here. Well, you know, if you go over the macro of this, he looks like a lot of countries. What's the Argentinian peso again? Is it this one? We can use the Colombian one, right? A lot of these countries that you see like this, they're non-first world countries, they kind of all look like the same against, like, you know, your big majors. They're kind of just like bleeding away faster than we ever will. Mexico, I don't think is different than that, even though he's been pretty strong with North America against a lot of European currencies. Against USA, he's kind of been basically doing one thing for as long as I've been paying attention to currencies. So I think with something like this, you know, even though this move looks kind of crazy, you watch this congestion, like where's the core amount of like shit here? It's basically there, right? And you want to see if he comes out the bottom, that's a different story. But for now, he's just pulling back into the shit he pumped out of. So if he rotates this back out, I'd pay attention to the same way. If he gets back up there, you'd watch him again. XRP, I have that somewhere. Don't I? Motherfucker. Please be on Polo. God damn it. That's not it. Damn it, really? Is that the only thing I had for XRP BTC? That can't be right. XRP BTC. I know I did not do that. It's got to be somewhere. Oh, well, this must be XRP USD. I have XRP USD. Really, motherfucker? Do I not have this guy anywhere? I know I have it. Which exchange is it, guys? Is it Binance? There it is. Sweet Jesus. All right. XRP. Get it? Waiting for this to happen if it happens versus BTC. So same thing you're watching from last time we talked about it. And then lastly, Ape USD. Really, motherfucker? Did you ask something I don't have a direct chart for? God damn it. Let me get Ape. Who's still trading Ape? Ape. Oh, sweet. Oh, I still have TA for this guy. Sweet. Okay, cool. Ape USD, been dead money for a while. I tell you, there's a lot of things in crypto you want to look at probably before Ape, to be honest with you. And these guys, you know, look like they're going to lose their lawsuit against Ryder Rips, and you know those apes aren't intellectual property they can protect. I think these guys have a lot more problems that makes this probably not one of your top 5 coins to pay attention to at the moment. He's down in the grave here. This bear flag we showed you was death. He's recovered basically to the same location. If crypto's going to pump, there's a whole bunch of other guys who are going to pump a lot harder than this motherfucker. So, you know, that's my thoughts on that guy. All right, motherfuckers. 9:26. Got done before 9:30. Stay safe, y'all. If pay attention to crypto this weekend. It looks like the only strength in the marketplace. If the market de-risks really hard, that probably puts a little question mark on the weekend. But crypto does for right now seem to be on its own path. So be cautious with it, and don't take your eyes off of the broader market. If the de-risk gets crazy again, it's going to hit everything just the same. Was in the spaces last night, and I would say that sentiment wise, there's still quite a few people who don't have an intent of taking their PFP down yet. And one thing I know at the bottom of bear cycles, nobody's going to want to have a fucking foreclosure, nobody's going to want internet stock, and nobody's going to want a fucking PFP. So, fractal things. Y'all stay safe, bitches. Catch y'all on the flip. Peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Welcome.